Hello, everybody, and welcome to this author interview. My name is Don Finn. I serve as the editor of the COABE Journal, and I am pleased to have two of the authors of one of the articles that's being highlighted in the Advocacy edition. The article is entitled, "It Takes a Village to Develop a Successful Statewide Adult Education Family Literacy Week Initiative." And we are honored to have Anthony Mangiafico and Kristin Hempel, both from Connecticut, who are joining us to talk a little bit about their article and about the advocacy efforts in their state. So first of all, let me have you introduce yourselves. Anthony, if you wouldn't mind going first, please.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Finn. We appreciate you inviting us to this webinar. My name is Anthony Mangiafico. I am the Program Director of Wallingford Adult Education in Connecticut, and I'm also the President of the Connecticut Association for Adult and Continuing Education.
And I'm Kristin Hempel. I'm the Director of Adult and Community Programs at EastCon, which is up in northeastern Connecticut, as well as the Chair of Professional Development for CASE and the Region 1 representative for COABE.
Well, thanks to both of you for joining me today, and thank you so much for your contribution to this edition of the COABE Journal. So let me just start off with a kind of a general question. Essentially, why did you write this article for the COABE Journal?
Well, thank you for that question. When I saw that the next issue of the journal was focusing on advocacy, I knew I wanted to submit an article about what Connecticut had been doing over the past few years. Since Adult Education and Family Literacy Week was still fresh in my mind, that seemed like the best topic to write about for this issue.
So I've been very involved with advocacy efforts through COABE for a number of years. But when this issue came out, I was really excited about the opportunity to highlight how our Connecticut team had leveraged those COABE resources while bringing in our own local spin to our outreach and publicity efforts. And I hoped that our journey of collaboration and personalization would be useful to others, helping them to see statewide advocacy is manageable when we break it down into smaller pieces and when we share it with lots of people with various areas of expertise.
Thanks to both of you for that, and I think those are great reasons. And you know, one of the things that I noticed in this article is that you really do emphasize that statewide effort and a coordinated effort. And so, let me throw this question out to you: how will adult education practitioners benefit from reading your article, and how will that benefit their learners?
So I'm hoping that it will inspire others to think about efforts that they can do in small ways and big ways to advocate for adult education and to engage learners in that process. It was really powerful for me to witness the impact on learners of engaging in these advocacy efforts, whether it was sharing a picture or a quote for social media or attending the rally or holding signs or speaking on our panel. All of those different ways were great opportunities for them to be a part of what we were doing. And I kept hearing from them over and over again how this program made them see themselves differently, to understand in a real way the power of their voice and the truth that the people in power work for them. And so we need to tell them what is important so that they can do a good job for us.
And I'm hoping that readers can see that we started relatively small in Connecticut, and it took years for us to have a big event at the state capitol in Hartford. Also, you can do a lot of advocacy work on your own and make a small impact, or you can work with your colleagues to make a much bigger impact. Practitioners can also learn that what we did wasn't perfect, and they can use that as a model to build on for their future endeavors. For example, we mentioned in our article that we didn't have student input soon in the process, the planning process, and that's something that we're going to do a better job of for next year, getting those learners involved from day one.
Yeah, those are great. And you know, particularly, not only did you talk about a coordinated effort amongst the different organizations and the officers or individuals within the organizations, but also have that student perspective, which is so incredibly important. And so, you know, again, in reading your article, there's so many practical pieces of advice that you offer and so on. So As our readers are reading through your article, what is it that you hope they will take away specifically from your article and your experience?
I hope they take away that collaboration with various stakeholders is key. You cannot do this work alone. Advocacy is just as important as writing curriculum or registering students for classes. Without advocating for our students, we won't have enough resources to serve our communities. Adult education has broad bipartisan support, but if decision makers don't know what we need, then they can't support us.
Additionally, I've got to put it out there, COABE has an excellent toolkit of resources that are available to programs and states. And some of those resources are printables that can be used off the shelf. Literally just go in and print them and take them with you when you talk to people. Others are templates that can be easily personalized. Additionally, COABE's programs like the Student Ambassador Program, the SAFE program, SALLY, Digital Change Agents, all of these are great opportunities for practitioners to learn more about the art of advocacy, as well as to build relationships with key stakeholders and potential political friends.
Yeah, that's great. And really, thanks so much for bringing up two really important points. The first thing is that so much great work is happening in adult education, yet if people don't hear about it, they don't know about it. Therefore, the decision makers are not going to prioritize it. So that's great. And secondly, thanks for the shout out about the COABE resources. Kristin, as you mentioned, there are plenty of resources that can literally be printed off and taken to advocacy meetings, advocacy-oriented meetings, and so on. So we really appreciate that, because there are some great resources. So that being said, are there any other thoughts or any additional comments that you'd like to share with our viewers?
I'm just really excited to see the momentum building around the country and to learn from and with colleagues and learners who are raising their voices. I know it can sometimes feel like we aren't making enough progress, but one of the things I've learned is that we've just got to keep at it. We've got to keep strengthening those relationships, increasing visibility, and building our confidence. Every little bit, every time we say, hello, we're here, it makes a difference. And you never know when that story that you told 2 years ago will make all the difference when someone is casting a vote.
And I would like to encourage anyone to submit an article to the COABE Journal. This was our second published piece, and the entire process is very collaborative. It's not always easy to put yourself out there, but our students do it every single day, so give it a try.
Well, thanks so much to both of you for taking time to share about your article. Again, the article is "It Takes a Village to Develop a Successful Statewide Adult Education Family Literacy Week Initiative." Anthony and Kristin, we really appreciate you sharing your perspectives. And to our viewers, if you would like to read their work, as well as some other pieces that we have put together in the Advocacy edition, or for that matter, if you'd like to check out any of the previous editions of the COABE Journal, I encourage you to go to coabe.org, click on the Journal tab, and you can see the current edition as well as our archived editions. The COABE Journal we really lean on and depend upon folks in the field to provide us with some information. The COABE Journal is theme oriented, and so maybe not every theme is up your alley, but still keep an eye out for those themes, for the different themes that we have for our special editions, and really consider getting involved in the process to share the good work that you're doing. Again, Anthony, Kristin, thank you so much for your great work in the great state of Connecticut, and thank you to our viewers for tuning in. We wish you well. Take care.